Hi, welcome to another episode of Along the River. I'm Alex Herzog, your host, and we are at the Sugar River Valley Regional Technical Center at the CCTV studios, here to talk to Felicia Dalke. She is the president of the Claremont Opera House, and to talk a little bit about our very own Claremont Opera House. How are you today, Felicia?
I am very well. It's wonderful to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you here. I know there's a lot of exciting things happening at the Claremont Opera House. You being the board president and all, why don't we talk about a little bit about what is the Claremont Opera House and what do you guys do?
Well, I think for most people in town, they know that the Opera House was built back in 1897. It's a fixture in the downtown and the core. And when we reopen again, we are hoping to bring more crowds of people back to our downtown area with our big events. We've had a number of challenges in this last year and have been trying to make some pretty big, or we have been making some pretty big changes to really have a true Renaissance year in 2021.
Excellent.
And that's our goal.
And now we're talking about your challenges, one of them being COVID. That really put things to a halt. How did you guys adapt with that?
We shut down. We kept our executive director on kind of part-time throughout last summer, did some maintenance items. And then it was really a good opportunity for our board to take a step back and relook at how we were doing things. And one thing I did on the board a couple of years ago when I came on was started to analyze data around how we were operating and who our patrons were, who our members and friends were. And one interesting point was, 20 years ago, we had a very active kind of membership group of about 200 people in town. And that dwindled over the last 20 years down to, in 2019, there was only 35 members in this whole area that were members of the Opera House. Very sad. And we were wondered, well, why is that? And there really were two major reasons. The first being staffing. So the board was never able to fully staff that venue to be able to take full advantage of it and to be able to bring in more diverse programming and other types of events. And the other major issue, because of the limited staffing, we were only able to do so much with programming. And we focused on the big revenue generators, which were tribute bands and comedy shows. Now, a lot of people love that. That is what draws people in
I've
and
been to Bill
the
Marley.
most.
He's an excellent
And
comedian.
brings in the most revenue. But a lot of people also want other types of entertainment. So last year with our membership program, we changed it up to make it focus. We kind of split members and friends into two programs, where membership was going to help us drive diversity in programming by funding different types of events for small audiences. So we started with bringing in other types of musical acts that covered jazz and blues and classical, trying to do some different things to draw a different or a broader type of audience. And we didn't have to worry about how much money we were going to sell on tickets because we were already covering our expenses through the membership program. So that was a big change for last year, and that we're carrying that through this year and expanding it even more.
So explain a little bit more of the difference between the members of the Opera House and friends of the Opera House.
So the friends has been a term that's been used forever there, and they really have always referred mostly to a donor. And there used to be a discount for tickets if you were a friend and you made a donation, but nobody ever took advantage of that.
I see.
So, and when we looked at the data, the people that were our friends and our donors were not the people that were typically coming to our shows. And the patrons that were coming to our shows were typically not our friends, for the most part. So we knew we had to really kind of try to address things and diversify our program to be able to attract a broader group. And friends we still want friends. You can still become a friend any time of the year by making a donation to the Opera House, no matter how big or how small of that donation. And but for members, the big thing there is they get free tickets, and they're helping to drive this diverse small. I'm not explaining this very well. I'm sorry. I'm gonna. I don't know if you're doing cuts in between shows.
You're not. Been,
oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
But I think what I'd like to say is that so people can become members or friends of the Claremont Opera House. Take advantage, and what are the benefits of that? I thought you had a membership program where you could go to a number of different shows throughout the year.
Yes, our membership program has two levels, silver and gold, The goal of the program is really to get more people coming in to experience the Opera House in different ways. And with the membership program, the silver members are entitled to 2 free tickets to our pop-up events, and gold members get
Great events, pop-up events, those are simple,
yeah,
small
and those
events.
are our
Yeah.
small events bringing in different types of diverse programming.
Yes.
And for the gold membership, you get 10 free tickets
Oh,
to
that's
events through the pop-ups. And again, the other things that we're going to be doing with the program is members have access to our historic ladies parlor. It's been closed up for a number of years. It's a wonderful space up there. It has so much of the history of the Opera House and various memorabilia on display up there. We're going to be holding member-only events there. We've talked about doing TED Talks and having similar types of events where members can come and talk with other members and hear about things going on in the area and being more engaged with the Opera House.
It's a great space. The stage is really awesome. It really looks good. When you go in there, you can feel the presence of history in that room. Now, I think most of the funding it's a self-funded entity, correct? So you're raising funds all year long to pay the bills, essentially. You're not getting an outside funding source.
No, we do apply for grants regularly.
Okay.
Yeah, we apply for grants, but we don't have, unlike many other similar types of venues across New Hampshire, we have very few benefactors that will contribute funds to us on a regular basis. That's why our membership and friends program is so important to being able to fund our programs and fund our operations and cover staff. And this past year, I mean, I mentioned the challenges earlier with our numbers and membership. We started a Renaissance program last fall to begin to address our gap in staffing and to be able to really create a renaissance for the Opera House in this new year. And it was really through grants from the Jack and Dorothy Byrne Foundation and the Couch Family Foundation that allowed us to move forward and hire a new executive director. And we've hired a tech director and now an office manager. And through those staff, we're doing all the planning necessary now to reopen this year and to be able to bring so many more diverse types of entertainment to our stage.
Yeah, side note, both those foundations do amazing things for our community, and we're really appreciative of both those. They've helped the Tech Center out on a number of entities, things that we wanted to work on. So thank you for mentioning that. But we've got a full-time director now, an executive director, and he's only been on for about 6 months.
He started in January. So very, very short. And he's been doing wonderful work. And Andrew Pennard.
Andrew Pennard.
Yep. And he's been doing wonderful work to basically address many of the maintenance items that we need to kind of spend effort and time on, in addition to operational things like improving our processes and how we manage overall. And we've also been doing a number of,
right? I got a grant to do some of the rehabilitation.
We did. We were successful on a moose plate grant that Luann Lewitt, our prior executive director, had applied for last fall. And that allowed us to start work on replacing and restoring the stained glass windows in the theater. And that is a major, major undertaking, and one that the city had not been able to move forward with addressing those windows for a while. We had holes in some of them, and they're only single pane windows. And I drive by and look at the holes there and would cringe. And luckily, through the New Hampshire State Council on the Arts, we received our first Moose Plate grant last fall, and we were able to start the first phase of replacing and restoring those windows.
Oh, that's great.
The full price of that is $112,000.
Wow.
We've only received $20,000 so far. We're going to apply for a Moose Plate again this year. But we will be looking for additional community and grant support to continue that work to really keep that.
So some of the windows were addressed. There's still some need for additional.
Yeah, we did just the first phase, and
so
there will be several phases to that window project.
And your Renaissance campaign, that is to kind of revitalize the Opera House in uses and stuff. Are you thinking campaign to help fund things down the road too?
Yeah, the Renaissance campaign was really focused on staffing.
Staffing, okay.
Because that was a big gap. We were never staffed properly, and we needed funding in order to be able to pay salary, especially when we were shut down. So that campaign allowed us to get people on board, professional, trained people in the skill set we needed to come on board and start to do the work that needed to be done to have a true renaissance for this year. And we are continuing to apply for various grants and also seek funds from business sponsors in town. And typically we would have sponsors and advertisers as part of a regular season. Because we didn't have a regular season last year, we did not put any ask out to businesses in town, so we were missing all of that revenue as well. So for businesses in town who might want to support the Opera House, we were asking them to make a contribution to the Renaissance campaign, and that we would promote their business as part of anything we did this year. But that campaign is really what has allowed us to fund new staffing to be able to build and grow the Opera House.
It seems like the more events you can put on as we move through this COVID phase, that allow people from outside the areas to come in and see these events, and they may spend money by going out to dinner, and supporting our local community that way.
Yes.
So it's really an investment in our future.
Yeah, and an interesting thing related to that is, so one of the other, we've been doing a lot of maintenance projects, and one of the big things we did is we just upgraded our ticketing system.
Oh, excellent.
So we went from Vendini to Audience View. So Vendini was bought out by Audience View, and now we've migrated to their product, which has a lot of additional capabilities from what we had in the old system. So we implemented that upgrade back in February, and our ticket sales right as of now and through the rest of the year are using the new system. And it's going to allow us to add a number of things that we've not done in the past, like dinner and a show packages.
Oh, excellent.
So if you're going to come and see a Bob Marley show and you want to add dinner to your package at one of our local restaurants, we can partner with restaurants and we can build in dinner packages and have them for sale on the ticketing system.
Well, great.
The ticketing system as well is smart enough that if you buy your membership, I talked about gold membership, you get free tickets. When you go in to buy your tickets and you log in, the system knows, oh, you're a gold member, and it shows you of our events which one you're eligible for free tickets from.
Excellent.
So as you use that ticketing system, it has some more intelligence and allows you it will allow us to more fully leverage how we manage our events and our patrons and our patron
as summer
database.
comes up, what are some events that are coming up? Is Bob Marley coming back?
He is, not for the fall, unfortunately, but for the spring. So
Great.
that's in
So we got
already
a book for a year from now.
in plan. This summer, we are going to slowly reopen with events outdoors at Arrowhead. So we are having a summer concert series. Every month, we'll have a concert at Arrowhead. And our first, it's not part of the summer series, but our first event really is a joint fundraiser with the Soup Kitchen. So
Yes, and that's coming up.
Grilling for Good, and you are one of our CHOP
I
competitors.
am one of the CHOP competitors.
So, yeah, in some work I was doing with the Soup Kitchen, we agreed to do some joint fundraising, and we came up with the idea for Grilling for Good as a benefit concert where we'll take care of, we being the Opera House, will take care of bringing in a musical act and have a concert, and the Soup Kitchen will run a chopped food competition, grilling edition, and make it a fun event that people can come and watch our competitors cook for the trophy.
Right, and there's a concession going to be there.
And
so
the
people
Soup
can enjoy
Kitchen
it.
are going to be providing concessions by donation, and we'll have music, and Sweet Fire Barbecue are handling beer and wine service in a beer tent on the premises. So we're really excited about kicking off our season, our reopening with this Grilling for Good event. And then beginning June 5th, we have our monthly concerts. And the first one is a band, it's more of a dance pop reggae band called House on Fire. They are really a dance band, and we're really going to push this one for local young audiences, younger audiences who want to come out and we have seating pods at Arrowhead, so
Yeah.
you have your seating space. You can come out, you can dance in your seating pod to the band. We'll have food available as well, and as well as the beer and wine service in a restricted wet area.
You know, I think Arrowhead's a great location. I saw the map of where you have, you know, people separated, seated out nicely. I think it's a very safe environment. We're not over yet with COVID, so we've got to keep thinking about the safety of everyone. There's a wet area and dry area. I believe that's going to be offered there as well, beer and wine, for instance. So some really great stuff coming up. This is, we encourage everybody to attend. I think it'll be a lot of fun all summer. And these are the kinds of activities people want to see. This is our community, and we have some live events and live entertainment. I've missed it.
Yeah. Well, people are going to love, if you like Celtic Irish folk music.
Oh, right.
Woods Tea Company is coming for the July event.
Wow.
So that's going to be get up and dance the jig in your seating pod. In July, we are having a Spanish Latin night
Wow,
with a
that's
quartet.
great.
And we'll do some salsa dancing, and that's going to be a really fun night. And the big thing we've added for this summer season is that you are going to be able to purchase a fire pit and add it
Wow.
to your seating pod. So we'll only have a limited number, so first come, first serve. But for an additional fee, people will be able to sit on the hillside, watching the concert, having a fire pit there. And it's such a wonderful venue that you'll watch the sunset, and it really will be a special experience.
Well,
this
the
summer.
plans sound excellent,
Yeah.
Felicia, and I wish the board great success, because this is exactly what some of the things our community needs.
Yep.
Live entertainment that's going to be family friendly and fun.
Family friendly made me realize. So one other thing that's starting up again right after July 4th is our Summer Impact Series for young elementary school kids.
Oh.
So summer theater is returning for the young kids. They'll be able to come to shows every
Wow.
Monday morning at 10 a.m. So there'll be more on our website about that in the coming weeks. But we're very, very excited to be bringing back theater programming for youth this summer.
Let's plug the website. What's the website address?
www.claremontoperahouse.org.
Excellent, and it's a relatively new website to put together. It looks really fresh and up to date. All the events are listed there, right?
Yep.
And I think this is the whole COH board is moving in the right direction. So I wish you the best of luck. This is great.
Thank you very much. We're excited.
So another episode of Along the River. Please support the Claremont Opera House. You can join as a friend or as a member, very simply, and you can do that on their website. Hope to see you around town, and if you're at the CHOP competition, please say hi. Thank you.